Welcome back to the Economic Sutra, and this is our 13th episode.
Oh, wow, 13 already.
Yeah, it's been a journey, hasn't it? And for those tuning in for the first time, AudioCast Lab India is the team behind the scenes, always bringing you these fresh perspectives on India's incredible heritage.
You know, it's amazing how much wisdom is packed into these ancient stories.
Right. And today, we're going to tap into that. We're diving into the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, but not for the usual reasons.
Not just the adventures and battles, right?
Exactly. We're looking at them through a modern economic lens.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious to see what we find.
Me too. Now, the Ramayana, with its whole concept of Ram Raja,
Yeah.
it's not just some moral utopia, you know?
It's practical, too.
Absolutely. It paints a picture of an ideal kingdom that's not only morally upright, but also economically thriving.
So there's a link between good deeds and a good economy.
Yeah, the Ramayana seems to suggest that. It's saying good governance is the bedrock of prosperity.
Like a just and ethical ruler actually leads to economic success.
That's the idea. Think of it like Rama, the ideal king, creating an environment of trust and stability.
Ah, so businesses can flourish, trade can flow smoothly, makes sense.
Exactly. Everyone benefits when the foundation is strong.
And it's not just theoretical. The Ramayana gives us a concrete example. Ayodhya, Rama's capital,
Right. It's described as this bustling economic hub.
with a focus on trade, agriculture, skilled labor. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Totally. And don't forget the infrastructure. Roads, irrigation systems, all well developed.
Wow, they were thinking ahead, weren't they?
Centuries ahead. It's like they understood sustainable development way back then, balancing economic growth with the well-being of the people and the environment.
Amazing how these ideas resonate even today.
Absolutely. The Ramayana gives us this incredible glimpse into how ancient Indians connected ethical governance with economic prosperity and environmental sustainability.
Okay, so that's the Ramayana. Now, what about the Mahabharata?
Ah, the Mahabharata. Now we're getting into some serious economic debates.
Oh, more complex than the Ramayana.
Definitely. It tackles the role of wealth in society head-on, and it raises questions that are still relevant today.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, for starters, how should wealth be created? And once you have it, what's its purpose?
Deep questions, for sure. And what kind of answers does the Mahabharata give us?
It offers a variety of perspectives, actually. It's like this epic economic debate playing out across generations.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about these different viewpoints.
Well, let's start with King Yudhishthira. He's known for his righteousness, his unwavering commitment to Dharma.
Dharma, right. The principle of cosmic order and right conduct.
Exactly. And that Dharma guides his entire approach to economics.
So he's not like those typical kings who just want to hoard wealth and power.
Not at all. Yudhishthira believes wealth is a tool meant to serve society and uphold Dharma.
That's a powerful concept, using wealth for the greater good, not just personal gain.
Exactly. And his economic policies reflect that. They prioritize social welfare. It's all about balancing the power of the state with the needs of the citizens.
It's like he's advocating for a system where everyone benefits, not just a select few.
Precisely. A system where wealth is used to uplift everyone, not just concentrate power at the top. And then you have someone like Karna, known for his legendary generosity.
Oh yes, Karna. His story always stood out to me. He's a fascinating character.
For sure. He embodies the concept of daman, which means giving. And it's not just charity, it's seen as a moral obligation.
Almost like an early form of wealth redistribution.
Yeah, you say that. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of society, that everyone's well-being is tied together.
So we have Yudhishthira promoting responsible wealth management and Karna highlighting the importance of sharing. Two different approaches, but both aimed at creating a more equitable society.
Exactly. The Mahabharata doesn't offer easy answers, but it pushes us to think critically about the role of wealth in society. It's like it's asking us, what does a just society look like? How do we balance individual aspirations with collective well-being?
Those are questions we're still grappling with today.
Absolutely. And it's fascinating how these ancient stories provide a framework for thinking about these timeless challenges. They remind us that economic prosperity is meaningless if it doesn't benefit everyone.
Right. It's about more than just accumulating wealth. It's about using it wisely and ethically to build a better world.
And if you're finding this exploration of ancient Indian economics as captivating as we are, we highly recommend checking out the books we've suggested in our episode description.
Yeah, they delve even deeper into these fascinating concepts and offer even more food for thought.
So we've touched upon the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, but there's still so much more to uncover.
Can't wait to see what other economic wisdom we can unearth from these ancient texts.
Me too. And remember, true wealth lies not just in material possessions, but in the wisdom we gain from our shared heritage. Stick with us as we continue to explore the fascinating world of ancient Indian economic thought.
It's striking, how both these epics, with their totally different stories, end up in the same place. Ethical wealth creation, that's the key.
Yeah, it's not enough to just get rich, is it? It's about how you get there.
Exactly. Both the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, they emphasize that real prosperity, the kind that lasts, comes from a system that lifts everyone up, not just a lucky few.
And that's what we're talking about, right? Long-term sustainability, making sure things are good for generations to come.
Spot on. It's not about grabbing what you can now. Think back to Ram Raja. It's not just about wealth. It's about justice, fairness, a ruler who truly cares for all their people.
And even in the Mahabharata, we see that same idea reflected, right?
Yeah.
Yudhishthira, so focused on social welfare. Karna, with his incredible generosity.
It's like they're showing us different paths to the same destination, a society where wealth is used to make everyone's life better.
I find it fascinating how these ancient stories give us such nuanced perspectives on economics.
Yeah.
They really make you think about the systems we have in place today.
Absolutely. And they challenge us, don't they, to strive for that balance between material success and ethical responsibility.
Big time. It's a powerful reminder. True wealth goes beyond what's in your bank account. It's about values, ethics, recognizing that we're all in this together, connected to each other and the planet.
And that's a message that's more relevant now than ever, wouldn't you say? With all the challenges we face, like economic inequality, environmental sustainability.
Totally. These epics are telling us, hey, think long-term, build something that works for everyone.
Exactly. Like a blueprint for a better future, where economic growth goes hand in hand with social justice and taking care of our environment.
And speaking of resources, if all this talk about ancient Indian economics is as fascinating for you as it is for us, check out the books we've listed in our episode description.
Oh yeah, those are gold mines of information. They'll give you a much deeper dive into these timeless concepts.
So we've only just scratched the surface of the economic wisdom in the Ramayana and Mahabharata.
There's so much more to discover, isn't there?
Absolutely. As we dig deeper, we'll find even more profound lessons about leadership, ethics, and what it truly means to be prosperous. Stick with us for the rest of our journey through ancient Indian economic thought. It never ceases to amaze me how these epics offer such a holistic view of economics. It's not just about money, is it?
Not at all. It's woven into the fabric of ethics, leadership, social responsibility, the whole picture.
Like they understood that true wealth goes way beyond what you own, right?
Absolutely. It's about the well-being of everyone in society. That's the real measure of prosperity.
And it all comes back to leadership, doesn't it?
It really does. Ethical leadership, that's the cornerstone. When leaders put justice, fairness, the common good first, that's when things really start to flourish.
Makes sense. Businesses thrive, innovation takes off, prosperity spreads to everyone.
Exactly. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the economic wisdom of the Indian epics, let's recap those key takeaways. First and foremost, ethical leadership. That's non-negotiable.
Makes sense. What else?
Remember, wealth is a tool. It's meant to be used for the benefit of society, not just to line your own pockets.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that we're all interconnected. My well-being is tied to yours, tied to the health of our environment, the whole system.
And lastly, those economic policies, they need to be focused on the long game, on sustainability and equity. We've got to leave a world that's prosperous and just for the generations coming after us.
Couldn't agree more. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, they offer these profound lessons that go beyond time and culture.
They really challenge us to rethink our assumptions about wealth, leadership, the whole point of our economic systems.
And they inspire us, don't they, to create a world where economic prosperity goes hand in hand with those ethical values, with social responsibility.
It's about building a better future, a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. And if you want to explore these ideas further, I highly recommend checking out those books we suggested in the episode description.
Yeah, they'll give you a much deeper understanding of how these ancient concepts apply to our modern world. And speaking of exploring further, join us next time for another episode of the Economic Sutra, where we'll be uncovering the lessons from the Golden Age, the Gupta Empire.
Another fascinating chapter in India's rich economic history. Until then, may the wisdom of these ancient epics guide you all on your journey.
Thank you for listening.